and welcome back to my channel. This is Erica from Confessions of a Homeschooler, and I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me today. I have had a lot of questions on our new history program that we are using, and we are currently using a distance online learning program from BJU Press. I will link all the information for where you can get this product below, and then I will also have a link to my blog post below, which will have more information and all of that. But this is kind of what it looks like in the textbook format. And this is our 9th grade history for this year. It's cultural geography. They have the distance online learning program for all kinds of different grades and all kinds of different subjects. One thing I really like about it is that you can purchase one subject. For example, my daughter is only doing history this year, but you can also purchase them kind of as a group, or you can purchase them individually just based on your own needs. And so that makes it really kind of a nice alternative for us. For high school this year, I think this is a great program. I think it's nice for her and for me. I really like that she gets to do video instruction, and she also still has textbooks in her hand, and then it makes it a lot easier for me because I'm not having to do the lesson with her. We have 4 kids. For most of you who have been watching me, you already know that, and so I do have a lot of other teaching that goes on, and so this just takes a little bit of weight off my shoulders, and it gives her a little bit of independence in her studies as well. And so I think for high school, I'm really enjoying this program. I really like the choice that we've made so far. So how it kind of works when we signed up for the program, you can order these books in hard copy like we did. You can also just get them digitally, so I think it's a little bit of a lesser fee than ordering, you know, the actual textbooks. And then what you would do is you go into your account, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like on the computer in just a minute here. But you just go into your account, you find the chapter that you need, and you can either print it off or your student could read it online, you know, just on the computer, whatever works best for you. Personally, I like having the books in our hands. I think that it's a little bit easier for her to read and to study. She can take these to her room. You know, she can kind of highlight in this book and all of that, and so I think it just makes it a little bit easier. So how we did it is that we purchased the digital online learning course along with the student textbook and the student activity book. The student activity book are basically worksheets, and she gets these assignments as she goes through the videos, and then she just does the worksheets out of her book, and then she turns this into me, and then I look online. The answer key is online, and you could download them or you could just open them up online. I just open them up online because it's easy. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like as well. But then I can just grade these really quick, and then you can keep your grades in your own grading system at home if you're using like an online software, or they also have an online grade book, and so you can just type in the grades in there as you go, and it just makes it all really easy. So what her average day kind of looks like is she will log into her computer, and she has an account you created as the teacher when you order the curriculum, and so she just logs in. If she had more than one class, it would appear on her screen. She only has the one, so she clicks on that one class, and it brings her up to whatever lesson she needs to be doing that day, and so she can just click on that lesson, and then there's a link to the video. There's information on whatever pages you know, she might be reading out of her textbooks. There's also information if she has to do a student activity page, and all of that kind of information is all right there on her screen, so it's easy for her to see what she has to do. And as she goes through and does them all, she can mark them complete, and then she kind of knows she's done with the day. So I think it takes about 30 to 45 minutes per day. It kind of depends on what she has going on. Some days are less and some days are more, but she basically starts out with watching her video, and so she just clicks on the link for her video that day. She watches the video and she takes notes while she's watching, and then a lot of times they'll start going through the activities in here on the video as well, and so she'll kind of do that with the teacher as they go through. And then if she has any extra reading, she'll, you know, once the video's over, she shuts that off. She does her extra reading. She makes notes from her reading as well, and then I have her make flashcards to study from. And if you missed my flashcard or how to study for her test video, you might want to check that out. That's why she does that. It's not really required in this curriculum. So she makes those flashcards, and then once she's done with that, she's pretty much done for the day, and she just lets me know she's done. She turns in any, you know, thing like this that she has to do, or if she did a quiz. I'll show you what that kind of looks like, so I know what she's doing each day as well, and then I can just go in and grade them really easily. But I want to say it's about 30 to 45 minutes, kind of depending on, you know, what she has going on for the day. One thing I do want to say that I really like about the distance online learning from BJU Press is that the videos are unique in that they're there's a teacher talking to your student kind of like I'm talking to you right now. So they're looking right at the camera, they're talking, you know, essentially to your student, up close and personal. It's kind of like a one-on-one type of thing. Some of the other online learning programs that I've seen, it's like your student is watching another classroom do the activities, and they show the kids in the class and they're raising their hands and participating in all of that. And while I think that that's probably okay, I do prefer the one-on-one kind of aspect of the BJU videos a little bit better, because I think it makes your student feel more like they're watching, you know, like a YouTube video or something where they're learning something versus watching another class and they aren't really able to participate in that class very well. It's almost like they're watching from an outsider standpoint. But that's totally my personal opinion. You know, you might feel differently and a different program might work better for you. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. But I do like that it's more of a one-on-one interaction with the video. So let's take just a minute and I will take you over and show you what my daughter's day kind of looks like, what the online portion of it looks like for her, so what she sees when she logs in, and then we'll look at what the online portion looks like for me, so what I see when I log in and how I grade her work and all of that. All right, so here's kind of what you get in the mail if you order the textbooks. Now, this is also available online and you can just print your own off. But this is the student textbook, and it's actually a pretty good-sized textbook. It is full of colored pictures, and then this is the student activity book, and then the tests and quizzes are actually online. So this is kind of what the textbook looks like. Your student reads, and then they've got, you know, all kinds of different topics in here. This particular one is cultural geography. So this is the 9th grade BJU distance online learning history course. And so that's what we're doing this year. But it's a nice colorful book. So I do kind of like having the printed one. Also, when you're studying from things, I think it's easier to have the printed version. But like I said, you can actually do the online version if you don't want to order the books as well. And then it also comes with the student activities pages, and these are given out as assignments as they go through, and I'll kind of show you what their assignments look like as well. But they just go through and do an activity. And so what one of her days looks like is she basically does her online video. She watches a video lesson, and then she always takes notes while she's watching her video. And they have kind of slides in there as well as she's going through the video, so that she kind of knows what to write down and things like that. And so I also have just a, you can do a spiral notebook or whatever. She picked out this one. It's more of a book, but this is what she uses to take her notes with each day. And so as she's watching her videos, she just takes notes on whatever they're learning that day, and then she uses those to study from tests and quizzes. And all, like I mentioned, the tests and quizzes are actually online, and I'll show you what that looks like for her and what it looks like for me. Okay, so all she does each morning is go to BJU Press Online, and then she logs in, and then over here it would list her courses. She's only doing one, so there's only one course here, and it tells her what lesson and what day she's on, and then it has kind of her running grade in there as well. And if you click on the lesson, it'll bring you up to just some information about it, and if you need, you know, there's just some extra whatever, information on the course and whatnot. And then over here you can click on lessons, and then it will bring you up to the lesson index, and then you can see she's gone through this many and she's still working on this one. And so all she does is she clicks in here on the lesson itself, and then it tells her what she needs to do. It tells her, let me scoot up for you so you can read a little bit better. So as you can see right here, it tells her what day she's on. It tells her what student textbooks to read and what she's going to be doing. And then down here, it'll tell her what video she's watching. And all she does is come down here, and then she can click on this link right here, and that will start her video for her. And then she's got day 16 assignments, and it tells her she needs to complete like a quiz or whatever. And so right here, it'll just tell her study for and take quiz chapter 1 over these pages, read these student text pages or whatever. And when she's ready to take her quiz, she can just click right here on go to test center, and that'll bring her to her quiz. There's a password here. I have to log into that so she can start her quizzes. So that's kind of nice. She can't just go in without, you know, and do a quiz without me knowing what she's doing. So I kind of like that of it. And it just kind of keeps going. So here's her next day, here's her activities, and she can mark these complete as she goes through them. So it's just really easy for her to kind of keep track of what she has to do and all of that. And then it will tell her in here, if she's got a test coming up or something, it'll tell her study for chapter test, whatever, and she can look on her, she has a little agenda thing that tells her, you know, what is happening on what date, so she can mark ahead on her calendar that she's got a certain quiz or test or whatever. Okay, one other thing I wanted to quickly show you is before they take like larger tests, like chapter tests and whatnot, they actually get to do practice tests. And this is one of my favorite things about this curriculum, is that they give them chances to do the tests. And how that works is she just goes to her test center and she can start her chapter test practice test. And it makes sure that you know that you're doing the practice. And then I log her in and she takes basically a practice version of the test. And then if she gets any questions wrong, we go over that together, and then she can continue. I think she has, correct me if I'm wrong, BJU, but I think she has 5 attempts to do practice tests before she has to take the actual test. And it's not like she's taking the same test over and over again. Once she is comfortable with the practice test that she's taken, she can go and do the real one. But the questions are worded slightly different. So each time she does one of these practice tests, they change the questions around. So they might ask different questions. They might change the wording of the questions. It's good and bad in that if she reads a question and then she notes, oh, I got that one wrong, and she, you know, makes a flashcard to study off it or whatever, next time she gets to it, they might actually have reworded the questions. So she needs to pay careful attention to the questions and make sure that they didn't change the wording, because that has happened to us where she noted that she got a question wrong. She did a flashcard for it. She studied that flashcard. When she went back to take the test, they had changed the question on her and she actually got the question wrong again. And so you just have to be careful. I actually kind of like it because it flip-flops words around, and so it makes her pay more attention to what she's doing. But when she's done with her practice test, then she can come down here and take the actual test. And I have found that it gives her a lot more confidence in her tests because she kind of knows what to expect. It's giving her a chance to practice, but it's not giving her the actual answers. Like I said, they're switching up the questions. And then I found that she's doing a lot better on her overall test because she has been able to kind of study for them using the practice test. So that's basically what her screens look like. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like for my end of the thing. All right, as a teacher, when I log in, my screen looks slightly different. It's similar, but different. So I basically select my student, which I've already done. And then if I had other courses or whatever, I would have them here. She's only doing the one. It tells me what day she's on. And then I have a calendar down here that I can add things to. I'm not using this, I'm using my own, but you could use theirs. And so when you click on hers, again, it gives you the overall information. And then you can click on lessons over here on this side, right there. And then again, it'll tell me where she's at. And when I click on the lesson, just like on her screen, it kind of brings up what she's done and that kind of thing. The only difference, and let me get back up here to one we've completed, is you'll see these green boxes. And so as the parent, these are things that I need to look at and need to grade. So for example, she had an activity out of the student activity book I showed you, and there's a link right here. So all I have to do is click this link, and then it will, you can either save the file or I just open it up in, it's just a PDF, and it will automatically open up the worksheet that she should have done. And it has in red all of the answers. And that makes it really easy for me to grade her worksheets. She just turns in her student activity book and that kind of thing. If there is a test on here, it'd be very similar. Here also in the green is what she read if I want. So if I don't have, it's the teacher's edition of her student reading basically. So I can click on that. Again, it'll open it up in a PDF and it'll show me what she read for the day, and there we go. It just shows me what she read for the day. And it's kind of the teacher's version, so it's got some lesson information in it as well. But it's basically her reading. This is what her book looks like. And then this over here would be some of the information from the lesson that she has gone through. So it's basically like the teacher's manual. I don't use this a whole lot because she does the video lessons, and the teacher in the video lessons goes through all of this information. But there's extra ideas and things like that in there. If she were to take a test, it would also pop up on this screen right here. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like. There's also like a table of contents, so to speak, over here, and if you needed to get to something else quickly, you could just click on it. But that's basically what it looks like. It looks exactly like hers, except that it has these green little facilitator boxes with links in there for me if I need to grade something or look anything up. So it's actually really easy for me to go in here, see what she did on day 14. She did this reading, she did these activities, and then here's something I need to grade. If there's nothing I need to grade, then I don't have a green box, and so it makes it pretty easy. And then if there's tests, again, there'll be a link there so that I can go grade her test. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like as well. All right, so when she is done taking a test, she can't actually see all the questions. We'll go back through on my screen and I can tell what she has gotten correct and incorrect. So right here is a little green check if she got it correct. If she got something incorrect, there'll be a red box, and let's see if she, here we go. So she missed this one right here. So it's easy for me to scroll down, see what question she missed. It says the student answer and then the correct answer and what her choices were. And if it's something like an essay or something like that, then it expects the parent to go in and grade that. And so in here it will tell me what she should have written. If I disagree with the grade that the system gave her, I can just change it right here. And for essays, they will always be at a 0 until you go through and grade it. Okay, so but this is basically what it looks like. You can go through and see what they answered and what they didn't. And what we do is we go through this screen together, and she makes flashcards to study off of. If you haven't seen my how to study video, you might want to check that out. But she goes through and makes flashcards off of her reading and her notes to study from. And then if she got something wrong on the test, she'll come back and make a flashcard for that one. Okay, so here is an essay question that she got. And when you do this online, the first time she took a test, I was like, oh my gosh, you got a horrible grade. What happened? And it's because they automatically put the essay grades to 0 until I, as the teacher, go in and grade her essay, because a computer can't really do that. So here's her student answer, and then down here it tells you what they had expected out of your student. And so it's really easy for me to go and see, like, okay, did she mention all of these things that they wanted her to mention? If so, I can go in and give her the grade that I feel like is appropriate up here in the corner. And so that makes it really easy. And then once you do that, it just saves the grade in there. And she had 2 essay questions that we had to do that for this time. And then when she's done, that will then give her her final grade, and you can go back to the grade book and it'll show her final grade in there. But it makes the grading and the testing situation really easy. So all of the tests and online quizzes are online, or all of the tests and quizzes are online. So the only thing that she has, you know, kind of in her hands are the student workbooks that I showed you and the student activity pages. And like I said, you can get those online. You don't have to order the hard copies. I just thought that it would be easier for her to work off of hard copies, and then I'm not printing off pages and all of that kind of thing. But that's basically what it looks like. It's really quite easy to grade it. You know, if you have any questions, there are links in here. There's a course schedule link down here if you need the course schedule. But honestly, I haven't used that much because everything is just kind of right here online, and I can just click on it. Now, if she did do something and I need to see it, I can click on Parent Resources over here, and then it's got all of these essay answer questions, facilitator materials, you know, rubrics, student activity answer keys, test answer keys, record of grades, teacher's edition, video lesson guide. All of this stuff is in the Parent Resources if you need it, but I find that I don't really go to this section that often because it's all in my lessons tab right here, as I just go and find it, you know, what lesson she's on, and then I just pay attention to the stuff in the green box, and I can click on all of this stuff from that green box. So it makes it really easy, in my opinion, to grade her work and just make sure that she's doing what she needs to be doing and all of those kinds of things. So that's kind of what it looks like on the computer end of things. All right, guys, so that is my review of the BJU Press Distance Online Learning for Cultural Geography for 9th grade. I actually really am enjoying this. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about her doing an online program, and you know, this is actually the first one that we've ever done for the most part for all of our homeschooling, other than like typing, which is an online thing, and Matthew C, they watch one video, but I'm still really facilitating that during the year. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about her just doing a you know, completely online program. I will say that I love it, and unless something drastic changes, I definitely plan on using this with my other kiddos because I really like the video aspect. I like that she's getting more of a in-depth lesson than what I might be able to give her at this stage in, you know, 9th grade. And it's also giving her some independence. She's really responsible for going in and, you know, watching her videos and doing her assignments and turning things in and, you know, writing, you know, studying for tests and writing things on her calendar so she can kind of, you know, organize her homeschool. So I really like that it's providing her with that more independent study. And I also like that it's kind of taking some of the pressure off of me so that I'm freed up a little bit for other subjects, for the other kiddos and that kind of thing. So I'm really enjoying this, and quite honestly, I almost wish we would have started this a little bit earlier. I think 9th grade, high school is a great time to do online distance kind of learning, so I don't I don't regret not starting it earlier, but I am really enjoying the fact that she is doing this year. It really has taken a huge weight off of me, and I think she's getting a lot of good content through the video lessons. The lady seems really nice. She's very pleasant to watch. She's thorough. She talks slow enough that the students can write. They can also pause the video and whatnot, and then there's slideshows that pop up in between, so they almost know, you know, what to take notes on and that kind of thing. So anyways, we are really enjoying it. If anything changes, I'll make sure to let you guys know, but as of this moment, I really do plan on continuing with this for her for next year. So I really am enjoying this process. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. I will do my best to get back with you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.